2NURFM News for our sponsor, Cartier Jewellery. Always unique, always quality. Toronto Town Square.
It's 2 o'clock. Good afternoon. I'm Belinda De Lasheras with 2NURFM Hunter News. Greyhound racing remains in the spotlight following publicised links to live baiting, which have seen the suspension of industry bigwigs, including hunter trainer John O'Brien. It's prompted animal welfare and political lobbyists such as the Animal Justice Party to step up their bids for action against the industry. Executive Director of Animal Liberation Mark Pearson says plans are in motion to ban the sport.
So the Animal Justice Party will be one of the first bills they'll be bringing forth in New South Wales legislation when elected is to ban greyhound racing across New South Wales.
It's claimed the public has been left in the dark over plans for the extension of Warkworth coal mine following the release of secret documents. Evidence appears to suggest the state government and mining giant Rio Tinto were in collusion over a fast-tracked biodiversity offset package to ensure the extension proceeds. New South Wales coordinator of the Lock the Gate Alliance, Georgina Woods, says the issue was only made public thanks to freedom of information laws.
The community has no access to these negotiations that always happen behind closed doors. It's only by freedom of information law that we've been able to uncover just how much contact and inappropriate pressure has been brought to bear on the Office of Environment and Heritage for this project.
Newcastle and Hunter Ausgrid employees insist they're ready to take industrial action if they're not granted a 2.5% pay increase with no forced redundancies in the wake of the state government's electricity privatisation plans. The Electrical Trades Union's compromise is aimed at helping parties work together to ensure conditions remain unchanged. ECU Secretary Steve Butler says a government response is the next step.
The response from the government in relation to the wages offer is critical because members of the ETU are not going to simply lie down.
Parents and early childhood teachers have had the opportunity to have their say over the current state of childcare following Hunter MP Joel Fitzgibbon's visit to Cessnock today. He's out to gather feedback on the ways Labor can improve on the Abbott government's approach to early childhood education, as well as understanding how the Good Start Early Learning Centre has been received. Joel Fitzgibbon says it's important to continue support of the nation's childcare centres.
We've got a number of high-quality childcare centres right throughout the region, many of them not-for-profit, people working for the greater good. We need to ensure government supports those people.
Up to 59 workers at Cardiff's Downer EDI could lose their jobs following the state government's decision to send manufacturing contracts overseas. After a raft of recent government contracts were awarded to Queensland and overseas suppliers, Labor has insisted the company's been forced to shed more than one-third of its workforce. Charlestown MP Jodie Harrison says it's a blow to Hunter manufacturing.
It's a real shame for the manufacturing industry in the Hunter that instead of us being able to produce rolling stock here in the Hunter, the New South Wales government has sent the contracts overseas and they're buying off-the-shelf rolling stock from China.
But Charlestown's Liberal candidate Jason Pauling says plans remain in place to take the manufacturing industry forward.
In terms of delivering the best value and best outcome for this state, for the people employed in this state, as I said, regrettable for the people involved here. However, in terms of big picture and the tens of thousands of jobs created through the infrastructure spend that has been slated for the bad Liberal government, I think there's huge opportunities here, and that's the plan that will take us forward.
Greens candidate for the upcoming Ward 3 by-election, Nevenka Berham, has sworn to go into defence of several Newcastle shopping strips if elected. She believes community spirit has taken a hit over recent years since the introduction of larger shopping precincts. Nevenka Berham says small businesses will need to come together to ensure they don't go out of business.
Well, council already have, I suppose, a plan to offer some reduced rates to small business in these village strips who form together a local business association. So I would be supporting that and pushing for more of those and encouraging those small businesses in those strips to get together.
The Maitland Senior Citizens Community Hall has received a $10,000 grant to refurbish its outdated kitchen. The renovated space is expected to increase the amount of activities the hall's able to cater for. Liberal candidate for Maitland, Steve Thompson, says it's not only seniors who use the facility.
There's a number of disability groups use it, as well as the Senior Citizens Association. There's a choir, there's some craft groups, there's a dancing group that all take advantage of it.
In finance, the All Ords is up 48 points at 58.70 and $1 Australian is buying 78.22 US cents. Now with sport, Reece Wicks.
It's been revealed the Jets have kicked off the search for a co-owner, with preliminary talks currently in progress. New Chief Executive Mitchell Murphy insists the club's exploring a number of options, from an EPL partnership to a private investor or consortium to help pay the bills. He's calling on fans to help expand the Jets' membership base upwards of 20,000 as the club pushes to become a self-funding operation. Meanwhile, the Jets are facing more promising prospects on the recruitment front, securing striker Radovan Pavicic on a 2-year deal. It's the 19-year-old's first professional contract with the club after 3 years as part of the youth team. He says it's a dream come true.
Well, I want to make a name for myself in Newcastle. That's first and foremost. I want to score a lot of goals, make the club happy, make the crowd happy, and hopefully in the future, tee up a move to Europe or something overseas would be very nice.
And in cricket, Mayweather B5 skipper Michael Varnum has been suspended from play indefinitely. It comes after he was refused to front the Newcastle City and Suburban Judiciary after an alleged bat contact with head incident against Jules Tavern's Peter Layla, until police conclude their investigations. That's sport. I'm Reece Wicks.
2NURFM news time is 2:06.